Have you ever thought about how you should behave when someone disrespects you in public, or makes an unpleasant joke that makes you feel belittled or embarrassed? How can you gain respect even from those who habitually seem not to recognize the value of others? How do you gain respect from those who tend to devalue people? Throughout this video, we will explore several psychological tips and techniques that will allow you to deal with such situations effectively, ensuring that you gain the immediate respect of those around you. Watch until the end because we will show you exactly how to behave when someone tries to ridicule you publicly. Let's start by analyzing the reasons why you might find yourself in a similar situation and understanding why. Sometimes you don't receive the respect you deserve. In many cases, the problem is not related to feelings of hatred or contempt towards you, but rather to the opportunism that characterizes certain people. There are individuals who, in order to improve their position, try to get ahead by taking advantage of others. This type of behavior is common both in groups of friends and in work environments, where some people see others as useful tools to advance and distinguish themselves. To avoid becoming a target of this type of dynamic, it is essential that you begin to establish respect for yourself right from the start. But what exactly does getting respect mean? It's not about imposing respect on someone, but about preventing them from taking advantage of you to make themselves look better. If the situation requires it, you must also be willing to distance yourself from environments that do not value your presence. However, it is always preferable to prevent this extreme. And to this end, we will share some practical tips for dealing with situations in which someone tries to belittle you, whether in work, social, or family contexts. Before continuing, we invite you to support our work. Leave a like on this video and subscribe to the Elevate Within channel if you haven't already done so. Now, without further ado, let's move on to the first tip. First tip: first impressions matter a lot. When you meet someone, stand up to shake hands. Don't stay seated and make sure you maintain eye contact. If you stay seated while greeting someone, you will automatically be at a disadvantage with the other person looking down on you, creating a perception of submission. Another common mistake is to look at the other person's hand when greeting or introducing yourself. When you look at their hand instead of their face and eyes, your head tilts slightly downward, further fueling the idea of submission. So whenever someone approaches you to greet you, stand up and look them in the eye as you shake hands. Second tip: if someone interrupts you in public during a conversation, the best thing you can do is to fix that person with a firm and determined look. This simple gesture will send a powerful message, making the interlocutor realize that he or she has made a mistake. At that point, you can politely ask to take over again using expressions such as, "Can I continue or can I pick up where I left off?" This approach will let the other person know that their behavior was disrespectful and that you will not tolerate being interrupted without reason. Often, this simple look of disapproval is enough to make the person stop interrupting you. This strategy works very well in public contexts, and often, it is not even necessary to stare at the person in a threatening manner. It is enough to maintain calm eye contact, and the interlocutor will understand on his own that it is time to stop perceiving the attention on him. Third tip: when someone tries to humiliate you with a joke in a group of friends, adopt this strategy first of all. Don't react immediately, pretend you didn't hear or understand the joke, and then calmly look at the person who made the joke and ask them to repeat it. You can say something like, "Sorry, I wasn't paying attention, could you repeat that?" This behavior makes it clear that the joke didn't touch you at all, and it puts the person who made it in difficulty, since they are forced to repeat it. However, repeating a joke diminishes its impact, especially in a context like this. In this way, not only will you avoid feeling uncomfortable, but you will turn the situation in your favor, making the other person feel embarrassed. Telling a joke a second time. rarely has the same comic impact as the first. With this move, you will not only avoid the awkwardness of the situation, but you will also be able to turn the tables, putting the person who tried to ridicule you in difficulty. Tip for when someone is trying to provoke you or make you angry. You can use a very effective psychological technique. Ask a question or comment that is completely out of context, something that has nothing to do with the current conversation. For example, you could say, "Do you know a good place to get coffee near here?" Or, "I think I wore too much perfume today." The important thing is to make it seem natural, so that the other person doesn't suspect that you're doing it on purpose. This technique interrupts the flow of provocation, forcing the interlocutor to lose the threat of his attempt to put you in difficulty. Finally, let's move on to the fifth and final tip. As we said at the beginning, people are not obligated to respect you, but at the same time, you are not obligated to tolerate disrespect. If you realize that someone is not willing to give you the respect you deserve, then it is time to walk away. Walking away does not mean defeat, but rather, it shows that you would rather be an appreciated absence than a devalued presence. Now, we would like to know, have you ever experienced one of these situations? How did you react? Leave a comment with your experience and share with us your thoughts on this topic. See you in the next video.